House Republicans voting no when it comes to Jim Jordan as their nominee for Speaker. It's been almost 3 weeks now since Kevin McCarthy was ousted, a first in the history of the country. So is this chaos in Congress going to impact voters when it comes to the election next month and possibly next year? Jill McCormick spoke to local party leaders to see whether or not they're concerned. Jill?
Yes, Sean, the House remains without a speaker after another secret ballot today among the House Republican Conference voted against Congressman Jim Jordan staying in that race, as we said. Now, this comes after he failed to win a majority 3 times this week. While this plays out in Washington, we asked, will this have an impact on local voters this year and possibly into next year? History in the making in Washington, D.C. Depending on who you ask, that can be a good or bad thing.
In the beginning, our forefathers who developed this country, they wanted a House of Representatives that represented you, me, and everybody else, not a party. And I think we've kind of morphed into this thing where it's party versus party, and we've forgotten about the individual electorate or the individual voter and what they really want.
It shows that Republicans have a failure to lead when they have the opportunity to do so. We've seen now 3 failed votes for Jim Jordan, and the only time that caucus can coalesce against him is when they vote on a secret ballot.
The reaction to Congressman Mike Kelly's votes for Speaker over the past week, not as far apart as you would think.
I was surprised to see Congressman Kelly vote against Jim Jordan a couple of times. I was surprised to see him vote for Speaker McCarthy. I'm not sure what his decision tree looks like at this point, but it would be interesting if we saw how that secret ballot broke down, where Congressman Kelly fell on that.
I think Congressman Kelly's sitting there and he's getting more information than I have. And I've always said that. Sometimes when you sit from way back here, you have a certain amount of information and you're making a decision on that. If you're there where everything's happening and all the reasons for this and reasons for that are being given, you might think a little bit differently.
So will these issues in Washington, D.C. this year have an impact on the presidential election next year?
Well, time has an impact on how people perceive things and how they continue to, am I going to vote next year or 13 months from now based on what's going on in the Congress today? I don't know. I think I'll be voting on what happens next summer, making my decisions then as opposed to back here.
I think that the Republican Party will still suffer the same turmoil and lack of cohesiveness in 2024 that they have shown us in 2023.
Before either side can focus on 2024, they need to find a new speaker in 2023. That vote is expected to happen as early as Tuesday morning following a candidate forum set for Monday. Now, until they can agree on another candidate to vote for, the House remains frozen with no elected speaker. And with each passing day, that moves us closer to a possible government shutdown next month. But as we said, a vote could come as early as Tuesday on a new speaker again. Sean?
All right. Thank you, Jill.